Well, maybe just a little bit under 4 minutes. What I mean by that is, oh, by the way, welcome to the Willie Bragg Show, where I like to discuss politics. What I mean by what I just said is, if anybody who watches this program and after the live stream is over, and you happen to catch it on, and the theme song is a little bit too redundant or too long, or you're just not into the groove of it or what have you, just scroll it around 4 minutes, more or less, and that's where you'll start hearing me yapping, if you rather hear me yap than to hear the music. So, be as it may. Howard, I hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to discuss the Jenks hearings. I haven't really gone too much into it. I will probably be discussing it maybe a little bit more this week. But, Steve Bannon, you remember Steve Bannon. Well, he basically has some choice words for Attorney General Merrick Garland in regard to the January 6th hearing regarding Donald Trump. And I will momentarily share some words with you all, but I'm going to let you hear it from the horse's ass's mouth. give me a second here. Let me fix this screen. Let's fix that screen there. That should do the trick. Okay, I'll let you, as I said, Steve Bannon, horse's ass. Who knows what's the difference? I'll let you hear it from what he has to say, and I'll shoot words right afterwards. So here we go.
I have to ask you about this, Jeffrey. Former Trump senior aide Steve Bannon, as you might expect, slamming the hearings and using just some irresponsible. Which let's listen.
And the United States and your guys, illegitimate American people, are awakening to that.
No, he's not.
We don't care what you have to say. And I dare Garland take crap there last night because we will impeach. We're winning in November, and we're going to impeach you and everybody around you.
Now, we know something's definitely wrong with Steve Bannon, but isn't there something wrong with being under federal indictment for contempt of Congress, and yet he is threatening the Attorney General of this country?
I think back to the famous comment from the late great Senator Moynihan that everyone is entitled to an opinion, but they're not entitled to their own facts. And it is not a matter of opinion whether Joe Biden or Donald Trump won this election. Joe Biden won this election, and there is no not even an unserious debate about that. And the fact that Steve Bannon is still using his microphone, as is Donald Trump, to claim otherwise, it just presents a problem for us as journalists. I think, what do we do with that? I mean, we can say it's a lie, but these people with big platforms, they keep saying it, and it doesn't make it any more true.
Alrighty. Well, let me share a few words about that. Yeah, Steve Bannon is full of shit. I didn't care for Joe Biden. Didn't vote for him. Didn't vote for Donald Trump either. You can be opposed to both the Democrat and Republican candidate for president. I would know. I have voted against Democrats and Republicans most of my life. So if you're voting third party, you obviously think both candidates are absolute scumbags. And I thought that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were both scumbags in 2016. And I thought that Donald Trump and Joe Biden were both scumbags in 2020. Now, Hillary Clinton lost, and a lot of Hillary Clinton supporters had a meltdown, and the right wing were making fun of how immature they were and saying, "Oh, look at the Hillary Clinton supporters. They're a bunch of sore losers." And the Hillary Clinton supporters are like, "It's Putin's fault. It's Putin's fault. It's the Russians. Oh, the Russians did it. And yeah, I actually think that's partly why we're getting involved in Russia and Ukraine, because there's a score to settle with Vladimir Putin, because they really do believe that Donald Trump was placed in the White House in 2016 because of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is a piece of shit. He's a horrible human being, but he didn't have anything to do with Donald Trump becoming president. Hillary Clinton was just a lousy campaigner, and people want to change. In 2020, people want to change again. They wanted to go back to normal because they got fatigued with what happened with the 4 years of Donald Trump. So in 2020, everybody on the right now started acting like Hillary Clinton supporters, but worse, because they didn't go around trying to physically destroy the country as a result of Donald Trump, of Hillary Clinton losing to Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump supporters were far more sore losers because they went and a lot of them tried to storm the Capitol on January 6th. Now, as I said before, and you've heard me talk about this many times, I think that the majority of the people got caught up in the emotions out there at that rally. I don't think they came in there with the intention of trying to go and run in there to storm the Capitals. And for all the conspiracy cuckoos out there, Antifa was not involved with this. Antifa was not involved with this. Now I'm going to repeat it to some of you retards on the right. Antifa was not involved with this. So anybody who thinks Antifa was involved with this, fuck off and fuck all of y'all. So that's where I stand on that. Now, with regard to the January 6th, I think that maybe the majority of the people that got caught up in the emotions in there, no, I think that the worst case scenario is a fine, a misdemeanor, a fine, and that's it. For most of the people that got caught up in the emotions. Now, the people that went and vandalized the place, broke in there, physically assaulted people, those that were actively trying to find Mike Pence, who I'm not a fan of, but trying to find Mike Pence, who was the one that kept on shouting, hang Mike Pence and all of that, and people who were looking for Nancy Pelosi's office and stolen her laptop and things like that. Go after those motherfuckers and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. Find members of Congress that were actively involved in making this shit happen. The people that who are actually out there kind of trying to make this happen. So that's where I stand with this. And I definitely think that certain people in Congress should be physically removed from Congress and should never run for office again. That's where I stand. Now, as for this fat ass Steve Bannon, he claims he's making a threat to Attorney General Merrick Garland that if they go and prosecute Donald Trump, and he's probably right that the Republicans are going to take over the House and the Senate. As it stands for, we're all having this conversation. I think most Americans think it's a foregone conclusion. Democrats, Republicans, independents alike, that the Republicans are going to win in 2022 in the midterms. And anything can happen between now and then. But that's what it looks like right now. It may age like milk, and maybe the Democrats will keep their majority. We don't know how this election is going to turn out, but we think that maybe the Republicans are probably going to regain the Senate and certainly regain the House. That's how it's going to look. He is threatening that if they go after Donald Trump, that the Republicans are going to go after Joe Biden and impeach him. Here's the thing. They're going to go fucking impeach him anyway, whether the Democrats go after Joe Biden or not. They have already planned to impeach him. I'm hearing Marjorie Taylor Greene. I am hearing people like Lauren Boebert. I'm hearing all these crazy right-wingers in Congress talking about impeaching Joe Biden. That's all I hear them talking about. And for what? Pulling the troops out of Afghanistan? If you're going to go impeach Biden over Afghanistan, maybe you ought to impeach him for sending the troops there to begin with. Not certainly for taking them out. Honestly. And if you're going to go impeach Biden for that, you better do a retroactive impeachment of Donald Trump for the assassination of Qasem Soleimani in Iran. The general, he was drone struck in Baghdad. If you're going to go do that, you go after Obama for the drone strikes that took place under his administration, and you go to Bush and Cheney. You go to Bush and Cheney for starting this whole fucking shit to begin with the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan to begin with. So if you're going to go after Joe Biden, you will get my blessing. Only if you go after all the other motherfuckers involved with this shit too. But it can't be one and not all the others. Okay. And the only way it can be one and all the others, you go after George W. Bush, then that'll be fucking base, because that's the one that needs to go after the most. You talk about a stolen election, the year 2000 was the stolen election. But you want to talk about stolen elections? Let me tell you, I don't like Joe Biden, but Joe Biden won that election in 2020. Donald Trump won the election in 2016, Steve Bannon, but so did Joe Biden in the year 2020. And I don't like Donald Trump, and I don't like Joe Biden. So, that's where I stand. Don't act like that Donald Trump was so wonderful that he deserved re-election. Okay? Don't act like that. So, as far as I'm concerned, these two motherfuckers are clowns. They're ass clowns. I mean, one's got dementia, the other one's just a damn TV reality fool. So, so I could care less about them. I didn't want either one of them in there. I voted third party. Of course, I get a lot of shit for voting third party. So, because, that's just how silly American people are. But if you want to talk about cheating, I'll tell you where some cheating took place. And I'm objective. It took place in the Democratic primaries in the year 2016 when Hillary Clinton and the Democratic National Committee cohorted together to go and steal the nomination away from Bernie Sanders. And that's exactly what happened in the year 2016. That happened. Could have had a President Bernie Sanders instead of President Donald Trump. But I really do, in my heart of hearts, believe that the Democrats rather have Donald Trump as their president than Bernie Sanders. I really do believe that in my heart of hearts. I really do believe that. Because the Democrats, now some of the Republicans, they'll want to call Bernie Sanders a sheep herder for the Democrats or whatever. And that might be true now in the year 2022 to an extent. But really, honestly, in the year 2022, I would have rather have Republicans who are frothing in the mouth and deranged and crazy like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert go after Bernie Sanders, not because Bernie Sanders is a bad man, but if you're going to go and call your president names and accuse presidents of being something that they're not or whatever, and it wouldn't even be true with Bernie Sanders, at least you're going to get the ideological labels close to true. At least go after somebody that at least be consistent, because when Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar and all these other motherfuckers go after Joe Biden, they don't even realize how much closer. I mean, honestly, if Joe Biden was a Republican senator, they wouldn't be as obsessed with the hatred as they would have been he is a Democrat, because Joe Biden as a Republican, what would he have been? He would have been another Arlen Specter. That's what he would have been. He would have been, maybe a slightly more socially liberal Lindsey Graham. He'd have been another John McCain. They would have been griping about him softly. Even as a president, they would have been griping about him softly. But really, there's little difference on policy between what Joe Biden wants and that of a rhino Republican. And they would just be griping softly at a President Mitt Romney, griping softly at a President Lindsey Graham, griping softly at any garden variety Republican. And Joe Biden is almost by policy a garden variety Republican. Even on the social issues where Biden is marginally liberal, you can find Republicans who will fit the mold of people like Joe Biden. Joe Biden is almost like, by today's standards, Joe Biden governs to the right of Richard Nixon. And at this point, he's almost governing to the right of Ronald Reagan. I hate to bust their bubble. No, I don't. I want to bust their bubble. I want to bust their bubble with the damn truth. These right-wing loons don't realize this country's so far to the right that Joe Biden is actually kind of a right-wing figure. And they, we talk about gritting. Now, I'm not sitting there trying to say Donald Trump is a good guy, because he's not. But Donald Trump got them fooled, because Donald Trump is actually probably more moderate than they even realize. But Donald Trump knows how to bullshit, and they really believe in him and look at him as a messianic figure. And I'm sure behind the scenes, he's laughing at their ass. Look at these damn goofballs, that because he knows how to manipulate the media, and he knows how to manipulate his followers. So he's good at getting people fooled. So that's where I stand and all of that. So anyway, I won't stay too long on this post, but I just wanted to share that with you. So, now if Biden is impeached, they're impeaching him for the wrong reasons. That would be my big beef with impeachment. I was even against the impeachment of Donald Trump. Well, the first impeachment of Donald Trump. I was actually for the second impeachment because of the January 6th insurrection. But the first impeachment, the Russian collusion, that was bullshit. So, and at the time, this was before COVID. And honestly, COVID might have been the best thing that happened to Joe Biden, because had COVID not happened, if you want to blame Joe Biden's presidency, Steve Bannon, blame it on COVID, because Donald Trump did not do a good job handling COVID. The Democrats didn't do it either. Nobody hardly did anything positive during COVID. I mean, look, we still don't have universal health care. That in itself tells you no good job was done. I mean, and you still have Democrats, they're still trying to debate whether we should go with a public officer, or they're going to be too scared to call us socialists. And then you have Britain's Donald Trump, Boris Johnson, thanking the National Health Service for saving his life when he got COVID. And what does that tell you? When Britain's Donald Trump, Boris Johnson is actually to the left of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi. That tells you something is fucking wrong with the United States today. So anyway, if you like what you heard, press the like button and comment. If you disagree, comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Help independent media. And remember, wage class warfare, because we got to go and solve this income inequality problem imposed on us by crony capitalists. We got to fight for, fight the military industrial complex and the defense contractors, which means that we must oppose war, period. All war. We got to fight for equality across the board. That means we have to fight against racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, sexism, and all the other bigotries that exist out there. And we need to fight for free speech, because when we defend all speech, we're also defending our own damn free speech, which means that we need to be consistent, defend freedom of the press, because as long as people like Julian Assange isn't free, none of us are free. And when Julian Assange isn't free, we're all Julian Assange. And until next time, I'm Willie Bragg. I will conclude by saying to you all, music, and have a great day. See you next time.